Always good to end our week with our mate in the US in the free state of Florida, Dave Rubin, where, among other things, we talked about Bud Light and Saturday Night Live.
It was the combination of both of these things. You have this in essence, actor, Dylan Mulvaney, the language around this is so stupid, but in essence, pretending to be the worst stereotype of a woman possible, getting his or her face on the beer. That's one thing. It would have rankled a couple chains, a couple people would have been annoyed, whatever. But then that this marketing executive who is in charge of the campaign does this video, or this video leaks, where in essence she says, well, we didn't really like the frat guys who were drinking the beer. We felt that our branding was immature and everything else. It's like, what business are you in? I'm pretty sure if you work for a beer company, Paul, I'm not a genius, but I know this much. If you work for a beer company, your job is to sell beer. If you work at a shoe store, your job is to sell shoes, et cetera, et cetera. And these people, and this is why woke destroys everything, these people come in with the woke ideology, and she's literally, this is what she said in essence, she is embarrassed by the customers who buy her product. So guess what, lady? Work somewhere else. Don't destroy the product, because now Bud Light has lost about $7 billion with a B, $7 billion worth of market share. That's a tremendous amount.
Joe Biden is ready to go off and lick the world. What on God's earth?
There's nothing our nations can't achieve if we do it together. I really mean it. So thank you all. God bless you all. Let's go lick the world. Let's get it done.
It's so hard to understand what is coming out of this administration, because on one hand, it's like Joe Biden bumbling and fumbling through things. On the other hand, they seem fairly set on continuing to escalate this war in Ukraine that, from some of these leaked documents that we're finding out, is not going nearly as well as they had been purporting, at least through the corporate press. I'm not surprised by that at all. Look, at the end of the day, the question really beyond what is right and wrong in Russia and Ukraine and all of those things are, from an American perspective, do you believe that the people that are in charge of this operation are the right people to be in charge? I simply do not believe that. I don't know if you saw this, but, we also had Joe Manchin, one of our senators here, who's a Democrat but often will vote Republican. He's one of the few crossover guys that we have. He tweeted out that we are at war. He either said at or in, either way, at or in. But as far as I know, to be at or in war, you need congressional authority to do that. But nobody even bats an eyelash at it. Oh, we're at war. Okay, zippity-doo-dah, we're at war. So we have a big problem here, because we have an administration that is not being honest with us, and we have a media that simply never asks the right questions. Hey, are we at war? How much is that war costing us? Are we going to end that war?
Last week we were praising that Saturday Night Live was actually mildly funny, actually did a joke about CNN. It seemed to actually poke a little bit of liberals with their special app to calm people's nerves who desperately wanted to relive the Donald Trump arraignment. Well, fast forward 7 days and they're as bad as they've ever been.
Introducing SNL's first non-binary cast member. It's Molly Carney.
Made it. Thank you, Mr. Che.
Molly, what is all this?
Well, as you know, I've been wanting to come to Update and talk about trans people, but I have, for a much longer time than that, wanted to fly down from the ceiling. Listen to that, Michael.
Yeah.
Restricting healthcare for kids. For some reason, there's something about the word trans that makes people forget the word kids. If you don't care about trans kids' lives, it means you don't care about frickin' kids' lives.
Wow.
At one point, I heard a crew guy say, "Is she gonna die up there?" And then another guy was like, "You mean, are they going to die up there?" And then they both walked away and didn't help. Which feels a lot like how trans people are being treated right now. Hey, Mr. Che, am I still in the frame?
I mean, your feet are.
Trans rock!
Dave, what the hell? It's a comedy show. Yeah, this is their chance to show, we're hip and cool. Lauren Michaels, who's 160, he's up with the latest Gen Zers.
How disappointing, man. You and I always do our 80s references and all that. When we were growing up, SNL the not ready for primetime players, the great people that came through that Studio 8B, Phil Hartman and Adam Sandler and Chris Farley and the rest of them, and the way that this thing has become an activist organization more than a comedy show, it's so disappointing. I don't even understand what they mean by calling that woman non-binary. She's obviously a woman. So are you telling us that she just doesn't believe she's a woman, which is not exactly what trans is? Nobody even knows anymore what they're talking about. It's just pandering nonsense. I think the proof, though, of course, is in the ratings for Saturday Night Live, which are not very good. They mostly get seen because people like us are making fun of them, so I guess that's nice. But it's really disappointing because, you know, societies need comedy, man. You need a way to blow off steam by saying something true and poking fun at the powers that be. And instead, they're poking fun at biological reality or something like that. It just doesn't work.